Yeah, come off bye week. Staff got a lot of recruiting done. Team got a little bit extra rest. We did go a little bit every day. We didn't have additional days off, but we were a little bit lighter. Simulated yesterday with a kind of a game day like scrimmage against our guys. Everybody's healthy. Everybody's available. Hopefully, come out rested and not rusted from the bye week.
All right, Dudley, Ethan.
I can ask one. Mike, just what were your thoughts yesterday? I know the final score ended up being, I think, about 20, but how Alabama played South Carolina.
Not surprised. I mean, they're really good at home. They've got some size around the rim to bother them. I think they've been shooting the ball really well. But I say like you said, the score wasn't necessarily as indicative. I think they cut it to 3 or 5 maybe there in the third quarter with a big run. Um, I think it's what you expect out of a team that's got a lot of veterans. I know they're missing Sarah Ashley, but it's forced Zay to have the ball in her hands a lot more. But I thought they got nice shooting the ball as well as anybody in the country. So that's a recipe you've got to have to be able to battle with South Carolina. I watched almost all the game. There were a bunch of games on, slipping back and forth between, but I thought they battled them. Alabama's always had a knack for being able to compete with the top of our league. They had about a 5 game stretch there a few years ago where they beat Tennessee 5 straight times. So Christy's one of the most she is the most underrated coach in the country, in my opinion. Her success, the number of tournaments, number of Final Fours, people forget about some of those because we got a lot of new faces in our game. But Kelly and Christy together do a great job putting together a game plan. Obviously, it shows up when they get in big games. They've been in a lot of them.
And then wanted to ask you specifically about Zay, because, obviously you're familiar with her just from playing her while she was at Pine Bluff, but what are you seeing that's letting her translate, uh, this play into the SEC?
I mean, she started in the SEC at Tennessee and then went to A&M. So I played. I think this is the fourth school I will have played against her at. Played against her at Alabama. Played against her at A&M. I don't know how many years JC and I were having an argument over that last night. How many years she's played, but I do feel like we know her. Plus, not counting the 4 years watching her in recruiting. Um, I think anytime you give her freedom, she's as good as anybody out there, and I think that's what they've done, especially with Sarah Ashley out. I think they've given her a lot of confidence that she's playing with a lot of confidence, and she's got a lot of freedom to create, which you can't keep her from getting her shot. You just have to affect the quality of it and how hard she has to work to get it because she's going to be able to find it. So I think that's what they've done. I think that's what Christie's always done with their great players is give them confidence and give them the ability to make plays and make decisions. And I think she's ran with it these last, especially since Sarah Ashley's been out, but even prior to that. But yeah, and she's mature. I mean, she's a grown woman. She understands now that some of the things that a typical college freshman doesn't have. And I don't know Zay at all, but I've watched her game mature, and I just know that it's human nature to over that number of time to learn from the lessons and good and bad. And she's been in a lot of big games, so she won't be intimidated by another one. And I think you're getting the chance to see her at her peak right now. I think it's the best basketball probably she's played since her early days on the competitive AAU circuit.
Last one I'll ask is this one of those games that you're looking at that, y'all have had a week off, of playing a game at least, and they're coming off a pretty, emotional game to try and, maybe to kind of set a tone early.
You hope, I've always, again, I don't know whether rested or rusted's better. I mean, they're two things. You have to deal with both of them. So I do think, I just think we need to play well to start, so it's not rusted. I don't, I've gotten past worrying about what the score is because I know that if we get down 10, we can take a timeout. We're going to be okay. We've done that a number of times. We've also gotten up a little bit and then blown the lead. So I don't have an answer for the formula for that reason, but I do know our kids are resilient in that first quarter. We tried to simulate that a little bit yesterday so it wouldn't be as drastic. Come Sunday, it's a late tip on Sunday, so we got even a little bit more extra time. So I hope the crowd gets us through it, whatever it is, whether it's a great start, they keep us going, or if we get off to a tough start, I hope they stay behind us. Had a lot of people reach out for tickets. A lot of people, I think, are a little bit cabin fever. We don't have our men hadn't had a home game in a couple of games as well. I think people want to get to Bud Walton. So I hope our crowd comes out and can help us get through a tough start or carry us if we happen to get off to a good one.
Thanks, Mike.
You got it.
Dudley.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about playing Sunday for how you like that, but you kind of answered that pretty good. What about health-wise? Obviously, gave Izzy some time to kind of heal up a little bit. Just how's she looking, and the team overall?
Yeah, overall everybody's good. There's a couple other Jenna had a little bit of a banged up ankle, and you're getting to that halfway through the year dents and dings and just accumulation of things. So I thought the timing couldn't have come better for us. Most years I look at the bye and it's like, but it coincided also too, Dudley, with the start of school, so our kids got to go to class on Monday without even having practice. And then Tuesday was light. So hopefully got the semester off to a good start. Fell at a really good time. I hope that our team understands that's rare and they come out with, with another level of energy. They should not be, like I said yesterday in practice, if you're tired today, that's on y'all because the time off has been there. Hopefully the mental break from having the preparation and it is another ranked team though. It's another, it's the team that I think Alabama's got the highest expectations they've had in a long time from listening to their press conferences. I'm not a huge fan of Sunday at 4s, but it's because of TV, so it's fine. I think we have our best crowds around 2. So I hope that doesn't keep people from staying out too late after dark. But it probably for our kids probably prefer the 4 because we get to sleep in a little bit and have a shoot around. Sometimes on Sundays with an early tip, we don't have shoot around. So hopefully we'll take all those and use them to our advantage. We'll need every advantage we have to be at home. It doesn't do any good to have a home game if you don't take advantage of the things that make it a home game. Your crowd, the extra time in your bed, the familiarity with everything. So we need everything like that to swing our way to knock off a ranked team.
And there's a very fine line between head down and head up. Have you seen head up this week?
Yeah. With our group, it's not a fine line. It's one or the other, Dud. I mean, it's either on the chest or up in the air. We don't have that middling thing in us. But it's been good. I think our team, again, because we keep them as informed as we possibly can. We don't try to hide information from them. They know who we've played. I think a lot of teams are going to go 1-3 against the people we opened with. If you look back at it, that's going to happen. But, I hope that has kept our kids' chin at least pointing toward the up part of it. There's enough good happening that it's not fake. We don't have to fake it to keep their head up. And then I think they got a chance to watch games last night and see that, there's some games out there on our schedule that if we continue to play as we have, the scoreboard might reflect something different. There were moments we played with everybody that we've played so far for a period of time. I think they could take that. I think when you go to Texas and you play like you did, and then you see them dismantle other teams, it happens to give your kids confidence. So the chins have been pointed toward the up way, Dud, but it's easy to see our kids. It's one or the other. There's no in between for us.
Thanks.
Yep.
Any other questions? Nope. All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, everybody.